Hey, hi, welcome everyone. Hi, my name is Amit Khanna, and I'm a project manager in Teradata. It's an IT company dealing mostly with data warehousing. So I'm going to talk to you about, in next 15-20 minutes, I'm going to discuss something, a concept that is so powerful that you can actually utilize it in every field. You can utilize it for enhancing your business. You can take the business to the next level. You can utilize it in knowledge. You can utilize it in media. You can utilize it in every single purpose. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to take the presentation with some examples, and then we will get on to the specifications of it. So let's start. Let's move on. So I'm going to start off with an example first. So the example is Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. So as you can see, Prime Minister Modi actually last year, he started off with a campaign called as Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. So he introduced a contest. The contest was to get a best tagline for this campaign and a logo. Now what he also did is, he actually marketed out this whole campaign to the people of India by putting up a contest. So that's another good thing you can do using this concept. Now, what happened is, after a span of a month or so, a lot of contestants came up with a lot of good ideas and they were rewarded basically. So that's exactly what our concept is. This concept is called as crowdsourcing. So in next few slides, you will actually learn what exactly is crowdsourcing, how it can help you. Alright, let's move on to the next one. And so what is crowdsourcing? Basically, crowdsourcing, now this is the definition, so let's just read it once, and I highlighted the keywords as well. So crowdsourcing is nowadays extensively used to describe a process, including methods and techniques of data collection and info gatheration that involve large group of users who are not organized centrally and generate shared content. Basically, all it's trying to say is that you can utilize the power of crowd to get your work done. That's what I can see it here. You want to know something, send it to the crowd. You want some new idea for your business, send it to the crowd. You want certain information, instead of just sitting at home or sitting in your office and picking up your employees' brains, you can always use the brains of the entire world. So that's what it is. And moving on, so crowdsourcing it actually is a very old concept. However, it was coined by the editor-in-chief of Wired, Jeff Howey, in 2006. So he came up with this name, crowdsourcing. Let's see what all do we have. So if you see this, I put across all the possible things that can relate to the crowdsourcing, right? So we have businesses, we have collaborations, problem ideas, right? It's always the thing. Creativity. Now that's another thing that we always want, ideas, participation, you have community coming in, and you have successful outcomes as well. So what you get from crowdsourcing is basically ideas, better people, more options, lesser price, and a better output. Moving on, so let's see what's in it for you, right? So crowdsourcing is a generic topic. It covers a lot of things. As I said, it can help in right from aerospace to knowledge industry, to media, to business, in a lot of things. So I'm going to specifically discuss today, business aspect of crowdsourcing. So we'll just concentrate on what you will get, how you can start up a new business, how you can move your business from the current stage to the next level, how you can get it from the local to global, and how you can enhance your business by using this concept. Alright, so let's move on. Let me start off with an example. Alright, as I said, examples help. I'm going to go with a lot of examples, and examples do help to understand the basic concept of crowdsourcing. Let me just also quickly update you that this presentation will also give you a good amount of understanding. It will also tell you how you can use it for your business, and it will also provide certain websites, where you can go and utilize the features of crowdsourcing. Alright, so now for the example. Now, Ruffle Lays. So we all know Lays, basically. Lays had those 3 or 4 common chips, the flavors. If I remember correctly, it was a yellow packet with salted, and we had the American corn and cheese, and we had maybe a couple of more. So basically, what Lay's did is, with all kind of a competition that Lay's was facing, Lay's came up with an idea of putting up a contest. The contest was put in United States, and the contest was put in India as well. So if you can see, the contest says that give us your delicious flavor and win cash. And if you recollect well enough, Saif Ali Khan was the key promoter for this contest. Now the idea is very simple. You come up with flavors and we'll give you money. And also a chance to get 1% of the sales. That's huge. That's really huge. What happened? People went on, people put their flavors across. You eat a lot of things, you feel that it would be nice to have it on a crispy wafer. So that's what Lay's did. Lay's came up with 4 flavors. One of them is mentioned here, chili lemon. So that's basically what Lay's did. It actually got crowdsourcing to help them to generate an idea and to come up with a new range of flavors. So moving on. Now let's see the business methods. So we're going to see the business methods that we are currently using, and we're going to see the business methods that the new way. So let's do the comparison. It's always easier to do the comparison than going line by line. So you see maximize profit, the old way, purposeful brands, the new thing. So what exactly it means? Maximize profit is that the mindset that we have in our business is to always maximize the profit based on our sales. That's always a good thing, right? We all need profits, basically. No denying of it. However, the new concept says that, purposeful brand. Now there is the brand that we make. A survey has come up saying that 80% of the brands that we produce doesn't solve people's purpose. So what we need is a purposeful brand. Not a brand with a purpose. That's what we're selling right now. We need a purposeful brand. So understand that difference. Global marketplaces, local and global. So we need to make sure that we tie up with both locally and globally. Instead of giving standardized offerings, we need to get now personalized, because everyone, we have certain niche segments already, but we still need to filter out and see how we can more standardize our products. That will obviously come when we do a lot of crowdsourcing, because people will give you ideas for it. Slow delivery of good on demand, right? We all know this. We all know how the delivery and what impact it creates. Consumerism, people make and share. So consumerism is basically, we make it, people have to buy it. What we are doing is people make and share. When people make, that means they will not come to your company and make it. Basically, people make is that people will come up with their ideas and innovative ideas. You will take those ideas, see how it's going to fit in your organization, and make it. So you give equal share to the people as well. Passive customers, the customers who are not aggressive, right? We all love those passive customers, basically. We all want those silent customers who just get their stuff and go. Now we need to empower people, and to do the same, we can use crowdsourcing. Alright? Moving on. So let's go through the benefits. Okay? Let's see the benefits of what company gets, and then let's see the benefit what people get. Alright? So basically, company gets, what do you get, in your company? What do you get out of this crowdsourcing? You get improved quality and productivity, right? You get feedbacks. That's very important for us. We all need feedbacks, right? Whether it's a positive feedback or is it, need to learn something new. There's no negative feedback, basically. It's something that always for improvement. So we need those feedbacks coming in. We need to know that what we are doing is correct, or we need to know what we are doing needs certain amount of improvement, be it in a product, be it in an organization, or be it in a company. We need good exposure, right? You'll get good exposure basically because now your product is known by several people. So you will know when you use crowdsourcing, as I said, and let's take an example of Swachh Bharat or Lay's. By default, you are actually marketing out to people that, XYZ day, there's something new going to be launched, and it's you who will be launching it. It's not us who will be launching it. So people get excited. Your sales will go up. All right. Minimum of cost, right? You'll spend less on research and development, and less on getting things done. Let me just give you a small minute story on minimum of cost. So P&G, P&G had a huge loss in mid 2000s, where they had a loss close to $1 billion because of no innovation, and they have an in-house R&D research development going on for a longer time. Now P&G, there was a change in CFO, and when the new CFO came, he actually opened up the doors of the research and development to the entire world. So P&G had close to around 8,000 research and developers. Then, when they opened it up, they had close to 1.5 million researchers. All right, and what they did is they not only made profit in the next 5-6 years, they not only covered it up, but they also started making the profit. So that's the power of that's the benefit that you can get from crowdsourcing. Now moving on, what people get, right? So it has to be a win-win situation for everyone. If the companies are going to get certain amount of benefits, people do too. So incentives, right? So as you have seen, Lay's. So Lay's gave up like 50 lakhs. That's a reasonable amount of money. Even Swachh Bharat Abhiyan had an incentive of a cash prize that was given. And of course the recognition. Now think about it. How it would look nice that your friend or your colleague or yourself are there on a photo pack of Lay's, are there on the banner across all the India, all the Mumbai, with holding the Lay's pack, and maybe with film star. So that's a good recognition and a sense of accomplishment, correct? And of course it makes life better. So as I was saying, make life better. So how nice it would look that when you come next day and you're the winner of the Lay's competition, to your office, to your home, to your neighborhood, to your community, and people recognize you and people are congratulating you. So that's what exactly is make life better. So let's move on to the next one. So as I said, I'm going to give you a technique. Not a technique, it's actually 10 definite techniques that you can utilize for your crowdsourcing. You can utilize for getting your business where it is and moving it on to the next level. All right, let's see those. Let's take one by one and let's go through it. So define your crowd. So what exactly does that mean? So you need to know when you are starting off, you need an idea, for example, or you need to know you want to come up with certain innovation. You know that this is what I need. So you need to understand what is your crowd. Is your crowd available on YouTube? Is your crowd available on Facebook? Is it a LinkedIn-based crowd? What your crowd criteria would be? What age sector you want the crowd to be. Of course, everyone can participate, but what your basic goals are, because there are certain products which you don't want ages lesser than 16 to give your opinions. So that's what you need to know. You need to define your crowd. Next is sound and clear. What does that mean is that you need to make sure that your idea, that your proposition for this campaign is very clear. It should be loud and clear what is your need, so that customer or the crowd understands what you need. Otherwise, you will have so many information which is of no use. And customer, if you're not clear on what you need, the customer will just give you everything on earth, which you really don't want it. Describe the process, right? So what it says is that, let's say you decided that you will go with Facebook as your one point of information where you'll gather the information. Next is you need to describe the process. You need to describe the process which says that this is the date when it's going to start, this is what it's going to end, these are how you're going to fill your applications, and this is what's expected from you. Alright, so you need to describe your process properly. Deadline, there has to be a deadline, because if there's no deadline, people lose interest. People lose interest if the deadline is too short. people lose interest if the deadline is too long. You also need to make sure that once post deadline, there is no second round of campaign about the same thing going on. So you need to figure out at your end what is the deadline you want to put and give the crowd the chance. Reward system, as we said, cash, the best reward system, one of the best reward systems. However, people would love, now that's the second point, the sixth point as well, give credits. People love recognition. You just tell them that, hey, you're going to come up on the stage and I'm going to give you, let's say, 1,00,000 rupee, but I'm going to put you on every banner. I'm going to put like Maggie, on every packet I'm going to put a mother and a child photo, something like that. You need to give them credit. You need to give them credit in terms of that this particular idea or this particular concept came from this person. Alright, you just can't take the credit on your own. Involvement. Your involvement as a company is very important. The person who's actually running the campaign and the people working under him need to make sure that every question has been answered from the customer, from the crowd. Only then they will feel that you're involved and it's not just one-way traffic. It's not just that you have launched a campaign and you have forgotten about it. Alright? Next is feedbacks. You need to get back to people, accept the feedbacks and give them as well. That's a very good habit to have. Let the crowd decide. So let's say you ran a campaign. The campaign went for like around 2 months. Now, who will take the decision? The best thing is let the crowd decide, because if the product is for the masses, let the mass decide which one they would like to pick it up. Because if the mass decides, your selling is always going to be higher, you will have a successful product. The last one central point, as I said, have one place to gather all your information. So if you feel that don't have Facebook and Twitter and all the places, of course promote it. But when people have to fill in the form and send it across, have one place where you can collate everything. It's easier for you, it's easier for the people to understand what's going on, and it's better for everyone. Alright? So these are the techniques that you can use in anything. You can use it for your startups, you can use it for your current business, you can use it to move it ahead, to take it to the next level. Moving on. As I said, I'm going to give you 8 tools, 8 websites, which will help you basically to, again, move ahead, go to that next level. And when I say next level, I would say that go global. Why just stick with India? Why just stick with your community? Why just stick with your society? Go global. Seek the brains of billions of people across the world. Maybe somewhere, we all know that there are a lot of things which are there in India and has been used by several places across the world. So why not go global? And these tools, these links will certainly help you. Alright? Let me start off with the beginning and let me just give you an example for Talent House. So Talent House is the company which has actually promoted Metallica, it has promoted Lady Gaga, it has promoted Lay's, it has promoted Kurkure, and it has also promoted the oils. So when it comes to Talent House, even Vidhu Vinod Chopra has used Talent House for crowdsourcing and media purposes. Alright? So this is one of the companies, the reason I've just put it up there is because you can see that, it's just not local. You can use it. That's one of the companies that has worked with Metallica and worked with Lay's, worked with Lady Gaga and worked with Vidhu Vinod Chopra. So just moving on, InfoCentric, it solves your problems, you have questions, put it across. It's one of the best tools out there. Octant, crowdsourcing your ads, right? You need those. CrowdSpring, logos designed by the crowd. Brand tag, see what people think about your brand, right? So we'll put it up and we'll know what exactly people think. Need a perfect logo, correct? That will help. Artwork, get answers from the crowd and name this. Come up with a perfect name. So basically, these will cover every aspect of your company. Be it startup, be it a running one. So right from naming to getting the perfect logo to getting what your brand is to things like that, they will give you all the ideas from the crowd. All right, let's move on. So this comes to the last parts of the presentation from my end. So let's see what our final takeaways are. So the final takeaways are the market sees purposeful branding. As I said, it's the brands with purpose and purposeful brands, right? Local, personalized and on-demand models, as we discussed on the new aspect of business methods. The crowd is becoming like a company, correct? Bypassing the inefficient corporations. Now, I'm not sure if you recall, there was in around 10 to 15 years back, every time when someone has to present or someone has to use certain logo, let's say a logo of office chair or two people in an office talking to each other, the photographers used to charge as high as $600 for those images. When iStock photo came up, iStock went from $600 to $3, $4 per image. What iStock did? Crowdsourcing. It asked the whole world to put up all the photos there. People like you and me who are amateur photographers, but we can still click a little better, put up the photo there. They used to get like $1 as a commission, and iStock sold it for $3, $4. So that's what the inefficient corporations or will bypass those middlemen. Corporations must use these same strategies and tools to regain, correct? To do this, companies embrace a business model change. We just discussed the new model, the new method. Corporations that partner with empowered people become resilient, right? If you want to stick around, if you want to be in the industry, whichever industry you cater to, you need to empower the people. You need to get information from the people for them, right? Only then you can stick around. Moving on. So before I close off, I'll just close off with a few more examples. Alright, so moving on to the next example, Zomato. So I'm a big Zomato fan. In fact, I'm a level 3 Zomato person myself. So what happens is, when you go to Zomato, so I go by the rating, I filterize the rating first by 4. And actually people suggest me, in a good restaurant, what is that you can eat and what is the things that you should avoid. So think about it. If you go with certain amount of crowdsourcing information, you might actually save some money by eating, by not eating actually, which people have just out of 50 reviews, 10 people have said no. Okay. So next, moving on to the Coca-Cola. So Coca-Cola is a big brand. Coca-Cola is, recently they have launched a campaign where they want to, share across. They want people to give ideas to how give back to the community. That's one of the initiative campaigns that Coca-Cola has run. Next is Pepsi. So if Coca-Cola is there, Pepsi should be there, right? So that's a nice thing. So Pepsi basically came up with a nice concept. You make the next Pepsi ad. Now think about it. We always see this film stars or cricketers doing the ads. Now think about it, you being in the ad. How nice it would be. People would do a lot of things, trust me, to get onto this. So they will get an enormous amount of media, publicity, and a good turnover as well. Moving on, this is the second last slide. This basically talks about how brands, across FMCG, technology, automotive, industry, and finance are using crowdsourcing at the best. So if you see, Coca-Cola has used 34 times since 2004. Now that's amazing. 34 times Coca-Cola went to public and asked for information. Now if you see, FMCG is the highest to do the same. FMCG takes up the most number of campaigns to the public. I would say you have a business. It might fall in any of these sectors. Go to public. Check with them what they need. What is that you can go and make better for them. Alright? The last slide. Thank you. That's all I want to say. My name is Amit Khanna and I'm going to close this crowdsourcing presentation. Thank you for being with me.